Good afternoon, people. How we doing and how we feeling today? So, I'm calling this week, I'm calling right now Red Week. Why? Because this Friday, Red Taylor's version comes out. It drops this Friday. Really excited about that. Love Taylor, huge Swiftie, since I was a kid, since she was, a country star. Shout out to Nani because Nani, one of my best friends in the whole world, she is a huge country music fan, as I am. So let's get started, shall we? So let's see. Today we're going to talk about Fearless Taylor's version because, keeping it in the theme of Taylor's version. So we have this album, this re-edited version, reimagined version. Okay, so first of all, I should mention, but it's kind of obvious from what I already said. Stay tuned, tune in this Friday. Today's the 10th of November, 2021. Tune in this Friday, the 12th of November, for my review of Red Taylor's version. And tomorrow, I'm going to do an episode for the Country Music Awards, which are tonight. So keeping it in the theme of today's episode. So we have episodes from here until Friday, back to back. So let's get started, shall we? Let's see right here. So who is Taylor Swift? I mean, everyone knows who she is by now. She needs no introduction. Queen needs no introduction, but let's just do it anyway. So I'm just going to touch on her briefly. So first of all, her discography. I mean, Queen has 9 albums, up to Evermore, 2020's Evermore, which is a strong contender for the next Grammys. Just saying that right there. What else? We have now Fearless Taylor's version, and in 2 days' time, less than, we will have Red Taylor's version. So Queen has a lot of music under her belt, a lot of bops from all kinds, all genres, country, pop, and alternative, and everything in between. She has collaborations with Haim, a lot of artists, Kendrick Lamar, and everyone in between. And also, Panic at the Disco with Lover, me. Okay, so first time talking about Taylor. This is a really exciting topic for me. She's one of the top selling artists of all time, and one of the top Billboard artists of all time, officially said by Billboard. So let's see. So her discography, I already said, she has 9 albums, adding to that plus Fearless Taylor's version, and then Red Taylor's version coming this Friday. So yeah, Queen has a lot of music under her belt. I love it all. Eventually we'll review every single album, but for now we'll just do Fearless, and then on Friday Red Taylor's version. So let's see, Fearless Taylor's version. So, and also I should mention, Taylor is one of the most successful artists of all time, from this generation, hands down, with Adele and Beyonce and Rihanna, Ariana Grande. The list goes on, Katy Perry. But then, of all time, she has a lot of longevity, under her belt. And her legacy is just astounding. I mean, she is just phenomenal in every single sense of the word. Her tours, I have yet to see her on tour, but next time she does a tour, hopefully will be next year, I'll be there. I want meet and greets. I want everything. So I want merch. I don't have any Taylor merch. It's kind of pricey, but Queen's a businesswoman. So let's jump right into the album. So okay, prior to the release of the album, that was at the beginning of this year, 2021, she first released Love Story, Taylor's version, and the album is the album is really good. The original album is solid through and through. The Taylor's version is phenomenal. It's excellent, exceptional material. And Love Story is this version, Taylor's version, is the first single we got, from the revised album, reimagined album. And it's a really cute song. It's always been an adorable song, a cute, love song, love story. Her voice is more mature. You can notice it throughout the whole album. The things she like tweaked with her voice, with harmonies and stuff like that, high notes, belts, runs, everything in between is just hands down really crafty, really, Taylor took her time with this reimagined album, and it shows, really, it does show. So next we got You All Over Me. I don't remember quite well if this song came before or after the next song I'm gonna mention, but okay. You All Over Me, featuring Maren Morris. Maren Morris is my number one country artist of all time. She's really talented. She has an powerhouse voice, really seismic voice. Sorry, voice crack there. And she's really something. I really want to see a Maren Morris concert. Really love me some country music. I've grown to love and appreciate what the genre has to offer. Ever since the pandemic, ever since last year, I listened to a lot of country music from a lot of different artists. Also Brandy Carlisle, Carrie Underwood, Miranda Lambert, Luke Combs, the list goes on, Chris Stapleton. So then we have Mr. Perfectly Fine. Oh, and I didn't mention what the song has to offer. You All Over Me featuring Maren Morris is a really solid song, It's really soothing, really like sweet, tender. Maren really brings it her all. I know it's not a really big contribution, but it's really solid what she does with the song. And then we have Mr. Perfectly Fine. And I should mention You All Over Me is one of the Vault songs. And the next song I'm going to mention is also a song from the Vault. The extra songs that Taylor never released until now with Taylor's version. So Mr. Perfectly Fine, there we go, is another song from the Vault, and it's a really good song. That's a really basic way to say it, but it's a really solid song. There's not much. There is a lot I can say about the song, but I won't make it very long. Mr. Perfectly Fine. That's a hard thing to pronounce. Sorry. This song, it's really catchy. I think it was about Joe Jonas, I believe. Yeah, I remember her. I remember him, posting something on Instagram, tweeting about it, and his wife, Sophie Turner, also said something about it, like with humor, like jokingly. So, and Taylor, Queen was just promoting her music. So then let's jump right into the album. So, okay, I should say this album is really long. I don't usually gravitate towards long, like really long albums. This album is 26 songs long. That for me is really, really stretching it. I don't really appreciate I do appreciate more songs, but as long as they're all like very like handcrafted, like crafted, you know, with care, with love, with thought put into them. But if you're gonna give me a 26 song album, I'm not talking about this album. I'm talking in general. For example, a really good example is Saint's album. It was Icarus Falls, his second album, which he released in 2018. I listened to it back then for the first time when it dropped, and not right away, like a month later, because I wasn't really impressed by the singles, and that album was really a letdown. I love saying, but ever since his first album, Mind of Mine, he has gone downhill. So, I'm putting him as an example because that album, Icarus Falls, was 27 songs long, really long, like almost 30 songs. And that was not a well crafted album, it's not a it's not a well crafted body of work. So, uh, but Taylor, on the other hand, Taylor did deliver. All the songs here have something to offer, has something for everybody, has different songs, like different songs for different sounds, different tastes, everything in the realms of country slash pop. You have more poppy songs like, the ones we all know and love, like 15, You Belong With Me, Love Story, and everything in between. So now let's talk about the standout tracks from the original tracks that were revisited. So I did a ranking. Let me tell you how many songs there are. I'm not kidding, if you're a Swiftie, you know. The original track list contains 20 songs. 20. That for me is really long. Like, this album, Taylor's version, is almost 2 hours long. Like, that's how long you take to watch a movie. A movie that's not very long. Like, I could have watched a movie, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I skipped some of the songs because if the song doesn't catch my attention right away or in the first like 30 seconds, I have a short attention span, so it has to grab my attention really quick, because if not, I just skip it. And that's what I did with some of the songs, because this is really long for me. So, but let me tell you the highlights. So the highlights from the original 20 track list album, Taylor's version. Okay, so my favorite song has to be the title track, Fearless. It's such an awesome, opening track. Really sets the tone for what's to come, for the long journey that's to come. And it opens things up with a bang. It kicks things off with a bang. So I really appreciate that. So number 2, we have Forever and Always. That's a really sweet song. I love, romantic music. I listen to this song, I think, the most out of every single Taylor's version song from Fearless. Then we have number 3, Breathe, featuring Colby Kylie. I don't know how you pronounce that, but the country artist or pop artist. I think she's pop, country, I'm not sure. Mix of both, maybe. I'd have to check that. But yeah, Colby Kylie, or however you pronounce that. Breathe actually is a grower. When I revisited this album a while back today, a while ago, Breathe actually jumped a lot of positions on my ranking. It's number 3. And then we have number 4 is 15. 15 brings me back to, when I was 15, almost 10 years ago. Crazy how time flies. I'm getting older, as we all are, obviously. And what can I tell you about the song? The song is really good. Again, being basic, but yeah, really solid, like from start to finish. It's a bop. It's one of Taylor's, I think I would say it's one of her signature songs. She has a lot of music, but 15 has always been one of the, highlights of her discography, at least in my opinion. Then number 5, we have You Belong With Me. Another classic. Taylor has a lot of classics. We already know that. Who am I kidding? But You Belong With Me is just chef's kiss. The music video, the iconic music video, the song itself, everything just clicks. Then Love Story. This is okay. This is the song we all the most familiarized we're with of all these songs is this one. So then we have number 7, my magic number 7, Hey Steven. So Hey Steven, I don't have a lot to say specifically about the song, but it's a really, it's catchy. It's like puts you in a good mood, as all these songs do. Well, mostly, yeah, I would say. Then number 8, we have White Horse. So this is gonna be something a little random and funny maybe for some of y'all, but White Horse reminds me of Blue Jeans, the Hannah Montana track. I don't know why, but also reminds me of Kali Uchis now that I think about it, because Kali Uchis, she came out with, she dropped Fue Mejor, her latest single with SZA, but she released an acoustic version, and in the cover, the single cover, Kali appears with, she's on top of a white horse. This song reminds me of that, like visually, like if you think about it, if I think about it, that's what it reminds me of. So okay, those are my highlights. Out of the 20 tracks, these are the 8 that I would recommend. Pop and Bob recommends these songs. So then we have the standout tracks from the vault tracks. So the vault tracks are 6. Yeah. And I would recommend only 3 that stood out for me. Number 1, You All Over Me, featuring Maren Morris. Love that duet. Number 2, and she should have released that. That could have easily replaced there's at least one song that could have been replaced with You All Over Me, but we will never know what happened there, why it was in the vault all this time, like the Disney movies. So okay, number 2, we have We Were Happy. Okay, that's Taylor by herself. It's a really sweet song. Well, it's kind of sad because it talks about it's more sour than sweet, because it's I actually got in the feels when I listened to this right now, because I didn't remember the song really well, but I recalled it when I listened to it again a while ago today. And it's kind of sad. It's really sad because it's talking about like we used to be happy. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be with a friendship. I have a lot of past friendships that became toxic and never recovered. Also past lovers, past flings that didn't pan out. And I think about that, and also with my past friends, and I was like, damn, we were like so happy. What happened? Life happened, shit happened, but that's the way it goes, right? That's the way life goes. And then we have Mr. Perfectly Fine. There we go. That's a really hard thing to say. Perfectly Fine. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little tired, but okay. So Mr. Perfectly Fine. There we go. Okay, this song is my third highlight from the vault tracks. the fact that it talks about, her relationship with Nick Jonas. Sorry, Joe Jonas, wrong Jonas. Joe Jonas. Um, this was when Taylor, was being known for writing songs about her exes and them becoming hits. So, yeah, I have a really fond appreciation for this new song that came out this year from the Vault because of that. Okay, so let's dissect the album a little. So, as I already said, I love me some country. I love it. You know, this song, sorry, got a little distracted. This genre, country, is just magical. That's the way I would describe it. It's really, country makes me think of family, family gatherings. That's what it makes me feel like. For example, that's what brings me and Nani, one of my best friends that I mentioned earlier. That's one of the many things that brings us together. Our love for country music. For artists like Taylor Swift when she was country, Maren Morris, Carrie Underwood, and Miranda Lambert, Blake Shelton. So I love this genre. The pandemic made me listen to a lot of country, and there's no going back from that. There's no going back from listening to country. When I tell you that, I mean it. Like, country is really something special, really underrated, I would say. Really big in the US, but not really big here in Mexico or anywhere else in the world. But it should be. There's a lot of really good gems there. Okay, so what can I conclude about the album? So the album is really, 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 really excellent. But I should mention once again, it's really damn long. I'm not complaining, but at the same time, I don't do long albums. My ideal album is a 12 album. So I'm sorry. My ideal album is 12 tracks long. The longest I would take is 15. Like Dangerous Woman, Sweetener, which are some of my favorite albums of all time. Or if we were talking about 12, like for example, Thank You Next. Or if we're talking about Adele, Adele, I don't know how long her albums are. I know that 21 is 11 songs long, but that's a really good example of a solid, excellent Chef's Kiss status 11 album track that's of that caliber. So this album is 26 songs long, but with that said, every single song has something to offer, as I already said. So in that case, go listen to it. That's what I can tell you. Is Taylor's version of Fearless better than the OG Fearless? 100% yes, I would say. I've listened to both albums quite a few times already to compare, and really, I mean, if you're gonna listen to Fearless, if you haven't listened to any version of Fearless, first listen to the original, then listen to Taylor's version, and you'll see that Taylor's version is the one to keep. Her voice is more mature, her voice is more sharp, more professional, sounds more beautiful, more, focused. And the Vault songs have really something special to offer. Like, there's something for everyone here. I mean, if it's 26 songs long, then obviously there's something for everyone, just saying. So finally, what score do I give this album? I give it 4 out of 5 stars. And that brings me to, the wrap up. So this has been my review for Fearless, Taylor's version. Really enjoyed revisiting this album with you guys. And now, tomorrow you can expect my review, as I said, of my recap, of the Country Music Awards that are tonight. And then on Friday, we'll have my review for Read Taylor's Version, the next Taylor's Version chapter. So, welcome to Read Week. Really fun. Really fun week, honestly. And this has been Pop and Bob. I'm Emilio Fernandez, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.